Next, we're going to go ahead and look at some advanced features. So if you're still with me, you just finished the basic features. We covered text, graphics, and wall backgrounds. We're going to take it a step further and kind of integrate things that are not in a normal poster board, such as images. So these are things we can actually take off of the internet, videos, some sound, and data. We are actually going to put in a Word document. So the thing I really want to say kind of as a recommendation is that you should always have your stuff ready before you start making your glog, because putting the things into Glogster is not the hard part. It's making sure you have everything that you need. So I'm going to show you my desktop. I have a couple pictures that I'm going to put in under my images. I have a document, a movie about technology, and some music. Now my theme here is Web 2.0 tools, which is why I have different logos for different Web 2.0 tools. My document's going to be a lesson plan about how to use Glogster in the classroom, a movie about technology, and some music that's instrumental so the words don't distract from what the whole glog is telling us. With that being said, the hard part is done. So when you are creating your own glog, remember to have all your stuff in a place that's easily accessible. Now let's go ahead and get started. We're going to put some images in first. Okay, so when you're creating your glog, you need your images somewhere where you can find them. Once you upload them, they'll be in here for good. So I've already uploaded 5 of mine. So what I can do now is easily put them in to the actual glog. The nice thing about Glogster is they offer frames, so you don't have to have an ugly picture that looks out of place. You can have a frame or a decoration. So let's say I want to use this frame for Schoology and it shows me a sample and I like it, so I'm going to use that. But maybe I want to use a different frame for a different logo. So let's try Sketchfoo. I don't really like the way that looks, so I'm going to go back to frames and pick another frame. So maybe I'm going to go to retro, see what kind of retro frames there are. Again, we have the same different choices as we did before. I'm going to try this one. That kind of covers up too much, so let's try this one. Again, it's kind of taking away from the actual logo. That one's not bad. I like that one, so I'm going to use that one. I have a couple more to do, so I'm going to go back to my images and pick a different image. For instance, let's try Glogster. Maybe for my frames, I want to look at hippie frames. I think I've been there. Let's try pop rock frames. Maybe these stars. See, that covers up too much. That kind of does too. So not all of them are going to work. You have to keep looking until you find one that you like. So let's go ahead and find one now for Blogger. Now if you find while you're looking through these that you don't mind that it looks the way that it does, that's fine. I always just recommend having something because it adds a lot, especially if you're going to be talking about something that has to do with a specific subject or a topic in your classroom. It might be nice to have frames so you could frame all of one type of thing in a certain frame. That way everything is classified together. Okay, once you have all your different frames and images in, it's pretty basic. It's the same thing as when we had our graphic. We simply move things where we want them to go. We can stretch and shrink them if we think they're too big. I'm actually going to angle all of these so they kind of pile into each other. If we don't like any of them, we can always delete them and add a different one. That's why the pink trash can is always highlighted for easy access. I'm going to kind of overlap mine. So if you see, they're starting to overlap a little. So here's Glogster. Now these are all different Web 2.0 tools for those of you that aren't aware or don't recognize the names. If you like some of these, they are on other parts of this Google site that you can kind of investigate on your own, or Google them and you can find more about them in separate areas. So I'm just giving you a little background about how to put in images, but again, if you want to put more Web 2.0 tools in your classroom, this is a way that you could look into them. Here's a couple that I like. Okay, so I kind of like this. It's a little grouping of all of them, and it leaves me plenty of space now so that I can put in a Word document, a movie, and some other options. So I'm going to put in my sound next. That way I can have a little sound for the listener if they would like to listen to it. And what's nice is I can choose to have them start it, so it doesn't have to start automatically. First things first, I need to upload if I don't already have one. And here's something that I can use. It's some music that I've already pre-chosen. Like I said before, it's good to have it ready. And I can actually watch it upload. So I could have uploaded it through just the general upload link and it would have placed it in the correct category, or I could have just gone to which one I needed, which I did for sound. So once this is done uploading, it's going to come up as one of my options for audio. And that audio option will stay there every time I go back into audio unless I delete it. And that's nice because then I can reuse the same music and not have to upload. So the more that you use this, the more resources you'll build up. Okay, so while this is finishing, I'm going to look at players, kind of see what I have here. So all of these are nice because, like I said, they're going to have play buttons. You actually have to start the music, so that way it's not distracting. I kind of like this one. So it's got a big play button. There's no mistake about what it's used for. So I'm going to go back to my audio since I found a player that I like, and I'm going to highlight the one that I want to be used and click Use It. Just like everything else, it's going to go into my glog, and I'm going to exit out of my menu screen. And now I can move this into my top corner if I want it to be somewhere that's easy to be found. Now if you click on this now, it's going to think you're editing it. So if you actually want to hear the music, what you can do is click on the preview button, and this will show you what it will look like if someone else was viewing your glog. And you can click on the play button and you'll start to hear the music in the background. And you can pause it when you're done and go back to editing. So that's a quick way to check to see if your music really did upload. It's such an awesome feature to have music in the background. I know so many students today do homework with music. Some of them like to test with music in the background. It's just something that they like, and it helps them stay, focused and motivated, especially with music they like. So let's go ahead and add a video next. So one thing that I like about this is they are linked directly with SchoolTube videos. So if you already have things on SchoolTube, you can pull them from there, or you can put anything in, videos that you've already made, upload them on your own. So I'm going to upload a movie that I've already made. And this is a movie just about technology in the classroom, things that I like to use in the classroom. So I'm actually going to post this glog when I'm done with it, and you can all look at it later individually instead of just for tutorials. So that's going to start uploading. If I scroll to the top, I can see that it's uploading right now. And this is another good reason to have everything ready, because in addition to the time that it's going to take for that to upload, I also would have had to find it, which could take some time. So while that's uploading, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at some other things that I might want to do to my page. So I'm going to exit out of here because that's going to continue uploading without me being on the screen. And I'm going to show you this draw feature that's pretty cool. Now the draw feature is definitely more suited for people that are good at drawing. For instance, I'm not in any way an amazing artist, but it is nice to be able to draw something if I can't find a picture that I like. So when you click on the draw tool, if you've already drawn something previously, it'll show up in your gallery. So I drew a dot, nothing impressive. I was using it for a decimal before. But if you want to draw something that you have not drawn, you're actually going to click the draw button. It's going to give you a box area. That doesn't have to be where your drawing is, but that's just where it's going to stay. So maybe I want to draw my signature. So I'm going to try my best to do this with my mouse pad instead of a real area, so you can see it's a lot harder. But the really nice thing about this is it's very unique. No one else is going to have that exact picture like mine. When I'm done with it, I'm just going to click OK. And it's going to come up now as one of my many options that I can use again and again and again. So that's a very rough picture of my signature. But now I don't have to draw it again if I don't want to. I can just use it and it will stay in my gallery. Okay, so it popped up. I'm going to exit out of this menu. And I actually have two of them, so I can delete one of them. I must have clicked that twice. And I can drag this down to the bottom because I don't really want it in the middle. I want it to be something that's in the bottom and just kind of like a last minute signature. And maybe I want to shrink this down so it doesn't take up too much room or draw too much attention. So again, if you don't find anything that you really want to use, you can always add it yourself. So there's my signature. I drew it in and it will forever be in my gallery. If you check up here, my file's still at 10%, so it's going to take some time for us to get this file completely loaded. So again, please plan for that extra time. That's going to be the longest part. It's not actually putting in that's going to take too long. So while that's loading, I can also put in some data. And this is what's nice about this is I can add in a lesson plan. I can add in a document with instructions. I can add in a survey form so my students can directly respond. So you're going to upload and you have to find whichever one you're going to use. Mine was a lesson plan, so I'm just going to click on my lesson plan. And again, this is going to be another file that starts uploading at the same time as my video starts uploading. Okay, so I have two things that are going to be uploading. If you look down below, I have the Google sign, and this came out a lot quicker because obviously I don't have as much media in the video. So I'm going to say this is the one I want to use, and I'm going to click use it. And because it's highlighted pink, that's how I know that's the one I'm going to use. And it's a file that added as an attachment to the glog. And I can say OK. I can exit out of here. So if I want to see what happened with that one, I can click preview. And when I go to preview, here's all the pictures that I have, my music, my title. And then at the very bottom with this little paper clip, I have an attachment. And it's going to say that there's an attachment for a lesson plan. So any teacher that is reading or watching and wants to know a way that they can use Glogster or a way that they can use something else that I've attached, they can look directly on here. Okay, let's check on our video. Well, since our video is done, we can go ahead and now put the actual video in. So I'm going to scroll back up to where it says video, and the star next to it lets me know I have something in there right now. And I'm actually going to click on the video that I want. And it highlights it in pink, and I can see the preview on the right side. And maybe I want to add a player. So the player is just like our frames, except for this is only for videos. So I can kind of look around and see what they have. Kind of like the lime green one. And I'm going to say use it. It's going to put it directly in. Then I'm going to exit out of here, and now I get to place this video where I would like it. Now, since I have a lot of room, I can actually bring this video down, maybe stretch it out a little bit, make it a bigger video. And this allows me to have a nice big area to show the video. If you look around though, maybe you're thinking you want to move stuff around. Again, you can click on something and move it, and that's pretty easy. But now I have added everything that I need to my final glog. Now you're only required to put in 3 components, and it doesn't have to be all of these components. If you don't feel comfortable embedding videos or music, you don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do is finally go to the preview button so you can see it without the toolbars. This is what everyone else will see. So again, we can play the music. And then from there, next we can watch the video. So you'll see the video get started. So everything is working, which means that's good. I put my signature on the bottom, and we have our pictures and our graphics. So I can go back to edit, and now the final thing you need to do is save this. And there's a couple of options you have. You can put tags here for people to find you or put it under a specific category. And you can choose for it to be public or just finish in private. And I'm just going to make it public, that way everyone can see it, and I'm going to publish it to the web. So this is how you complete a glog. Now I will address a couple things. First of all, in case you didn't notice, the document did not get embedded straight into the actual glog. And I know that there's been questions from other users about Prezis as well. And Glogster has actually come out on their own boards and responded to this, saying that they have not made a way yet so that you can actually write your own HTML code for the Glogster. So unfortunately we can't embed that yet. I think that's something that they're working on, but it's already such a great tool that that's something that, you know, can be improved upon across time. So once you're done, you can go back to your dashboard. I'm just going to click view this glog so I can see the final product, and I hope you really enjoyed everything there is to use with Glogster, and I wish you the best of luck when you start working on yours. Thank you so much. Bye.